Hi, thank you for joining us for Mom Talk. Today we're going to be discussing how to lose the baby weight. So Jessica, how do you feel about your belly after baby?
Definitely not what I wish it was. You know, it's funny when you think about, I think about back when I was like in high school and I thought I was so fat and the boobs weren't big enough and everything was just wrong. I saw a picture of myself in high school recently and I was like, what was I complaining about?
I can relate to that.
It is. It's hard, you know, working, having a baby, all of it together. It's just, and I don't like working out. I hate working out. I hate pain. I hate sweat. I have a short attention span. So when I'm working out, I'm like 5 minutes in and I'm done.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's been a struggle for me. I lost like 30 pounds originally. I did Weight Watchers last year and I lost 30 pounds, which was really great. I looked hot. I loved it. I also love cake. And that didn't work out so well for me after I stopped doing Weight Watchers. You know, I don't know, they weren't very friendly together. So I gained a lot of the weight back, and I'm actually working on right now. I'm working on my diet. I'm cutting out a lot of refined sugar, so I really don't eat sugar anymore. Cut out sodas, and just genuinely like trying to eat a lot cleaner with the occasional treat, but just working on it. Because
I mop and clean at the same time too. Oh, that's not what you meant.
We got a new vacuum and it's like significantly heavier. And I was using it the other day and I was like sweating.
There you go.
I was like, I'm technically getting a workout right now while vacuuming.
They say housework is a workout. It's considered a workout.
That must be why I'm so out of shape.
Me too.
But no, I know Leslie is a fitness guru, works at the local gym, and you're going to be doing fitness competitions and everything. So.
Yeah, I wasn't always like this. I was about a year and a half ago. I was over 200 pounds, and I was working full time, and it was right after I had my daughter Addison when I gained the weight. After I had Austin, I was fine. About a month later, I was still into my normal clothes, and I had no issue with I wasn't having issues with losing the weight, but I didn't gain a lot of weight when I was with him. But with Addison, I gained a lot of the weight. And then after I had her, I was working so much, and I didn't really want to go to work out. I didn't really have a gym to work out at either, so I just didn't do it. And then when we moved here, and then I saw everyone in their bikinis, and it was just so hot out, and I was here.
Here in South Texas.
Yeah.
At the beaches.
Yeah.
You were jealous of the women at the beaches?
Well,
I just want to clarify this.
Well, it's all the college. You know.
Oh, okay. So during spring break.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Those are visitors.
Those are visitors.
But you know, and also health reasons why. You know, there's diabetes runs really high in our family, also some heart disease and stuff like that. So, and I knew I wasn't happy. I was depressed. I hated myself. I didn't want my pictures being taken. It was just so depressing. When it came time to my kids' birthdays, I'd be the one taking the pictures because I didn't want to be in them. And so I knew I had to change. And so at the time I was a stay-at-home mom, and I joined the local gym. They had the daycare, and I started working out there, and I kind of got in my own groove. I started taking some classes, met some really cool people there, and I started doing that and started just living a more healthier lifestyle. I wasn't changing when I was eating too much right away, just because I thought, well, I was working out so hard that, you know, I didn't have to really watch what I was eating. But I wasn't really losing the weight either. I'm like, man, I'm working out at the gym, I'm doing everything right, but, you know, going and eating, you know, cheeseburger after working out didn't work out either.
You're just not meeting
Each other out.
So then I had to focus a little, you know, more on my diet. And they even say now that your diet is 80% and exercising is 20%. It's all about eating the healthy fruits and vegetables. It's all about not eating the processed foods. You know, even when they say low fat things, it's, you know.
That just means more chemicals.
Exactly. So we really, and I, you know, started learning more and more after this, but after I lost a lot of my weight, I started looking more into it, learning more about it. And that's when I decided I was going to become a personal trainer, because I just absolutely love fitness, and I fell in love with it. And yeah, so here I am today, and I am about 12 weeks out to my first fitness competition. And so I'm really excited about it, but it can be done. It's just a lot of hard work.
Did you get stripper shoes?
I did. They just came in the mail this last week.
Are they clear? Did you get the one with fish in them?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's
I would love some fish shoes.
I'm still in the process of losing baby weight. My baby is 6 months old, and I'm still breastfeeding full time.
You can claim it for 2 years.
Good. And I can still claim it from Sebastian. But I can still claim it from the first one. But no, I have, they say, oh, just breastfeed and the weight will just fall off. But that's not the case with me. I just love to eat, and I'm always hungry, and I just crave sweet things. So that, I like cake. Like I want like the whole cake though, like not just a slice of cake.
Yeah.
Like I just want to keep eating it.
And cupcakes are more dangerous too because they're smaller portions.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, I should cook it
cupcake.
2, maybe even 3 to shape it out. But so I have issues with food. But anyway, so I started looking into the different options. I started going to the gym, and that wasn't working for me because I had to drive 5 minutes there, and then I'd have to wait, then I'd have to get on the treadmill and this and that, blah, blah. And it just seemed like it was wasting so much time, and I just didn't want to do it, and I couldn't stay motivated, and with working full time, and that wasn't working. So I actually started doing Jillian Michaels 30-Day Shed, and it's a really great workout video for anybody that has minimal amount of time and minimal access to gyms or whatever. All you need is a mat, a couple hand weights, a DVD player, and a TV, and 25 minutes. And so it's very, very intense. You start with level 1, and that's another thing. I was really out of shape. Like I used to be very athletic and have tons of energy, and right now I'm like a form of blob of myself. So I like that I could start with level 1 and like just kind of do like one jump, one jump, one jump, and then and now I'm in level 2. So now it's like doing walking down push-ups and all that. But it's nice to be able to ease it and modify your movements and kind of go from there. I haven't changed my diet yet. So my first 30-Day Shed video, and I've completed 28 days, and I've lost a whole 1.5 pounds. Yay! But I lost a whole pant size, so that's good. But it's hard with the food. So I'm just not ready to give up the diet yet. Like, with working full time, and the processed foods are easier, and Monday is Monday night pizza, and on the weekends it's like spend 5 more minutes with the kids or pack a lunch. Well, 5 more minutes with the kids and I'll just grab some pizza again. Pizza, I love pizza. Anyway, so I'm trying. But the moral of the story is I've done the 30 days and I like it, and I've committed to it, and I can do it. And I've got more energy. I had some issues with battling with postpartum depression after this child. And so I'm seeing a lot more energy with that and feeling better about myself. And my husband, he says, oh, you look great. Well, who knows if he's telling the truth. But anyway, so I like it. I recommend it.
That's good.
I'll let you know in a year.
There you go. I've struggled with my weight for a while. Actually, I lost 60 pounds when I was in college. And I worked really hard at it, and for a while there I wanted to be a personal trainer because the coach was in my aerobics class was trying to get me into it. And I loved it. I worked out 3 times a day. Well, I ended up in the wrong relationship, and it was very stressful, and I just packed on the weight, all the negativity, you just eat, yeah.
Same way.
So when I left, I had started to lose weight again, and then I got pregnant. So there goes that idea. I had the first one, and I had very bad postpartum because of the birthing experience. It was very traumatic to me, and having her in the NICU and stuff. And I ate because I was emotional, and I've been doing that since. And I've been trying. Actually, I was doing that since, but my husband and I, we decided we're going to get healthier lifestyle. There really aren't chips in our house. There's not soda in our house. We've been doing this for a long time, the whole wheat bread and boring food. And see, she goes to my house and she's like, what do you have that's good? We juice, and I haven't been able to lose the weight at all. So
Have you had your thyroid checked by chance?
Not lately. I did it for my first pregnancy, but I haven't.
I would definitely get it checked. I just recently went to the doctor, and that's kind of why I really changed my diet. Was my cholesterol and my blood sugar were high. I'm 24 years old. I am too young to have high cholesterol. And I've always had thyroid problems. I killed my thyroid when I was 13, so I have hypothyroidism. And it's like the lower the number, it's like it's supposed to be between 0.5 and 4 to have a healthy thyroid level, and mine was at 25.
Oh wow.
So I had basically no thyroid. So getting that fixed can actually really help with. It's a real simple blood test.
6 weeks ago, I went and got my thyroid checked because I'm like, I'm tired all the time. I can't lose this weight, blah, blah, blah. And I went and got it checked just thinking, that's got to be what it is. And no, it's completely fine. And I'm like, dang it. There goes my excuse. Like, I don't want to be sick. I want to be healthy, obviously. But putting on extra weight and living a sedentary lifestyle does huge dramatic things to your body. Like, exhaust you just I mean, it's a big deal. And like I said, even just 30 days into my video, and I just feel like I have more energy, I'm sleeping better.
Well, I actually did start working out. I tried doing the gym thing, you know, and I did that the first time, but I get really bored, like you said. I'm like, I'm like, so I mean, I'm blessed that I have the membership at the athletic club, and I've been trying different things, and what's working is my husband and I play racquetball together. So not only do I get a workout, and it's a very good sweat, like I mean, when I first started trying to play, I was like, this is exhausting. But now I can actually like run to this side of the court, run to that side, you know, and try to keep up with him, so I'm getting better. And it's great time for me and him to, like, I'm noticing we're getting more. At first I thought I was like cramping his style playing with him, but he actually like started telling me, are you gonna come in and we're gonna play? You know, so it's really nice.
See,
like,
I'm a happy eater. Like, when I'm happy and content, then I'm fat and happy. Because that's just like, I mean, my husband and I, like, I mean, it's like, oh, Monday night pizza, like, we put the kids in front of the TV and we hang out in the kitchen and we stand over the box of pizza and have our pizza and talk about days and just kiss them with our pizza faces. Like, I just love that man so much.
But it's not bad to have that one
I know,
night,
but yeah, I know, but it's like, you know, and then the next night we're cuddling on the couch, watching our movie and eating our ice cream, you know, and he's eating the ice cream. Like, it's disgusting. Like, I mean, it's just, I'm a happy fat, whatever.
I always joke that I was at my skinniest when I left my ex, and I was like, I was actually really miserable, but I was also really poor.
Yeah.
So I didn't eat. I like lived on Camel cigarettes and Diet Coke, and I was about this big.
Yeah.
I'm like, apparently I just need to be miserable again.
I know.
I know.
See, a lot of
obviously not the
people-
healthiest way.
A lot of people complain about like, oh, it's so expensive when you go to the grocery store. Well, sometimes it's not really that. You have to look at what you're buying. I mean, if you're spending $4 for chips and that's one bag, and
You can get a whole thing of
$2.50 for
bananas.
soda,
Yeah.
of course your bill's gonna be
I
high.
genuinely feel
And
like
if you're
since-
eating like a huge portion, I mean, you're eating what 2 people should be eating. Yeah, it's gonna cost twice as much.
Our
for you
bill's
to,
way
you know.
cheaper since we switched to just like primarily buying like whole foods, just meat and vegetables and fruits and you know.
You know, they say to shop on the outside
Yeah,
of the
that's
store.
perimeter.
Yeah, because you don't need to go on the inside. 'Cause
Or
there's just,
you can,
junk.
even it's cheaper, you know, I mean, grocery stores are great and you have to go to the grocery stores, but I found a lot of farmers markets
market.
and I seriously have cut my grocery bill
The
almost
meat
in.
though is, I know, I went recently to the farmer's market and I was like, oh, I want to get some of this grass-fed, all organic meat. I bought a fryer chicken, a pork roast, and a pound of ground sirloin, and it was $60. I was
You know what I do is when the whole food store, a couple times a year, they have their chicken on sale, the chicken breast, no home horns, blah, blah, and they mark it down to $1.99 a pound. Go make friends with the butcher and tell him you need 80 pounds of that.
And
He looks at you like, huh, what'd you say? I said I need 80 pounds, okay? So he goes back there and he slices me up 80 pounds worth of meat. I pay $160. I take it home, I individually wrap every single one, and it gets put in the freezer.
See, we go to Sam's Club
and we have
buy
the deep freezer.
the big things like chicken breast now, and same thing, just separate it up. And you know, it takes a little bit extra time, but in the long run, it's
Normally if it's $4.99, $5.99 a pound, I'll pay $1.99 because, you know.
Well, it's also going to cost you more if you don't plan out your meals.
Right.
And I noticed that really quickly. Like, if I buy 3 pounds of meat and I say, okay, well, this day we're having spaghetti and this day we're doing burgers or ground beef with whatever, you know, just tacos, whatever. I mean, you have to plan it out. Otherwise, you're just kind of going back to the store buying stuff and you
Pick
oh,
up
this
something
spoiled, and you throw it away.
Oh, I feel so bad when I have to throw
I know, especially if it's meat, because you know it's expensive.
See, I menu plan once a week. I sit down
And
and I
you
choose
can
out my
eat that way.
menus, and I have a binder of all my recipes, and then I have a couple months worth of recipes I've already put together, and so I switch week after week, and I already printed out a grocery list of everything I need, and I only buy what's on that grocery list, so that way we're only eating what's on that grocery list. We're not bringing home extra junk or anything like that. And then, you know, once a week we have a cheat meal. We'll go frozen, get frozen. Friday nights are pizza night.
Okay.
And so we buy, the kids the frozen pizza. We get the kashi pizza, which is protein, higher protein. And, and I have my glass of wine, and my husband has his glass of beer or drink or whatever he does. And that's one of our cheat nights. And we actually, you look forward to it. You work so hard, and you're like, oh, almost 3 more days till that one cheat meal. And and it's really not even a cheat meal, because you're still eating healthy, but you're eating how you're supposed to be eating and how your body is supposed to. Yeah. When I really started eating clean, and it wasn't until I started training for this competition that I really, focused on eating clean and what was, what the true meaning of eating clean was. And now we went out and had a cheeseburger one night, and I had a few bites of it. I couldn't finish. I was like, literally had a gut ache because it hurt so bad because my body wasn't used to it. Yeah. And now things don't taste good, and the processed foods and everything. But it only takes about 30 days. If you can commit to 30 days of doing the best you can with eating clean, your habits, it takes 30 days to change a habit. Oh, cool. And so if you could get past those 30 days and even start out small, where you're, you go out to eat 4 or 5 days a week, or you have, dessert 4 or 5 days a week. If you cut out 1 day a week and gradually get your body used to it, it's not like, oh, I got to cut out all these sweets all at once, and you're craving all this, and then you cheat, and you're like, oh, I give up, I can't do this. If you do it in small increments like that, it's going to be a lot easier than if you try to quit it altogether. And so that's kind of baby steps into it. So
that's one thing I find very tough to deal with. Like, when I did my 30-day shed, and I didn't lose my weight. And I'm like, but the video said, obviously I didn't do it the way I was supposed to, my fault. But how do you stay motivated when you know it takes time, but you want instant results?
You gotta start off with small goals. Whether it be, a pound a week, or whether it be, cutting out just that one cheat meal, a week. You gotta start out with the smaller goals, just like children. You gotta see these small instant results, or else you're gonna get depressed and you're gonna give up. Yeah. So if you set tiny small goals, like I did a small goal when I first started losing weight of 5 pounds a month. I was like, I can do this, 5 pounds a month. I weighed myself every day. I know you're not supposed to, but this is what helped me. Yeah. If I knew that I gained a little bit, I'm like, okay, what I eat, and I'm like, okay, and I focused on how this.
See, I get on the scale, and if it's like a pound plus, I'm like, well, I just need to use the bathroom, duh. I'm good at making excuses for myself. I'm wonderful at it.
And you can't force yourself to do it either. You have to have a good enough reason for yourself to want it. Someone can't want it for you. You have to want it for yourself. And it's about making those life choices. It's not about, oh, I'm going to go try this diet, or I'm going to try that diet, because those bad diets don't work. I tried injecting myself with those HCG injections. So I
was just going to say, have you tried the diet pills and all the rage?
Yeah, I've tried everything.
They're bad for you too. Like,
if I weren't breastfeeding, I would take it. I know that sounds terrible, but
I took one.
I just wanted it.
I felt like I had done an illegal drug. I was paranoid. I was shaking like violently. I did not have a positive
reaction. When ephedra came out, and it was Metabolife, and they had ephedra in it before they rolled out. We used to call it Metabocrack.
Well, I want some of that. As soon as I'm done breastfeeding, I want some.
And we were good to go, and you did our French fries. So those fad diets don't work. You know, and the reason, and when you see instant results like that, is because you're shutting off a lot of the waterway. So your body, you know, is made up of, you know, a lot of water. So you're pretty much dehydrating yourself. And so when you see that, you're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm losing all this weight. And then about a month later, you're like, all right, how come the scale's not moving? Or you're gaining some of that weight because it's only water weight. I mean, honestly, coming from someone who has gone from, you know, every fad diet, including injecting herself with needles, trying to lose weight, nothing works besides eating clean and exercising. And, you know, on treadmills, if, you know, you got to find out what works. Treadmills, some
I have
people,
one of those in my garage.
I mean, and they,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm still bringing me close to drying.
And, you know, it's, you know, you got to find what you like to do, you know, whether it be racquetball, whether it be group exercise. Group exercise is a great way because you keep each other motivated. You don't get bored. A lot, they change the music, the routines always change. You got to find something that works for you and what you're satisfied to, where it's not such a, oh, I got to go work out and sit on an elliptical for an hour and you're like that bored out of your mind. That's not going to keep going back. So really, for me, it was group exercise. That's what I started doing.
Dance classes.
Exactly.
We did Zumba once, and I was so embarrassed. Like I wanted to die. I was like the awkward white girl, like offbeat. I mean, there's like old ladies shaking it way better than I did. But that's like the only group class. I live out, you know, out in the boondocks, and the only group class around is Zumba. And I was so embarrassed and so awkward. I couldn't do it.
I mean, like when I lost weight the first time,
Right.
well, no,
Or it gets more awkward.
I kept tripping over the step and like, oh, what are they doing? But then you know you just get used to it. You know?
They have the
And if
lights
you're
dimmed
very
and everything.
bad with coordination, get in a spin class. All you have to do is sit in a
Well,
stationary class.
like I said, that I don't have it. There's nothing else offered, and there's like a small gym in my town, but they don't offer childcare.
Yeah.
So you know that's another thing that struggles. I feel like I could do some type of group class, or what I really like to do is go, you know, do swimming. You know, go and swim laps, but where's that supposed to go in my time? You know, my husband can only carry so much weight, versus you know I can only carry so much weight. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could wake up early. Don't make excuses. She gets up at 5 a.m. I wake up at like 8:30.
Yes. Funny. She's gonna get struck down in a second. I'm gonna start. I'm in the middle of tomorrow. I'm gonna call you at 5 a.m. and I'm just gonna keep calling your phone.
It'll be off.
I mean, it can be as simple as, you know, going to the park with your children,
Playing with them.
sprinting, doing lines with them, having them exercise
Pick the
with
ball or telling them to pick the ball
Yeah.
and you go get it.
you, skipping, jumping jacks. Incorporate it with your children, so that way you're also not only getting an exercise for yourself, but you're also teaching your children, you know, that exercise is good. You need exercise. Anything to get your heart rate up, at least for 30 minutes straight a day is what it takes.
I
And
just want to like do yoga and do like infant pose. I took yoga in college, and that was my favorite part of the class.
You get some yoga DVDs for your house.
It doesn't raise my heart rate enough, you know. Because I lay on the floor and fall asleep.
Yeah.
there are body combat.
I used to have one one time ago that it was like a aerobic yoga or something, and you know, I don't know. I probably watched it twice.
Drive to Corpus twice a week with the start, right?
That's about a 40-minute drive, and gas
She
is
can't
about
get the
369 gallons
Well, what
of
about
premium.
like okay? I started juicing in February, and I was juicing, and I'll be honest, I didn't do it like the full blown way that they tell you to do it. I just tried to like incorporate it, like okay, I'm gonna have a juice in the morning and it was great, you know. But I got frustrated that I wasn't just like losing weight because I wanted to just lose the weight, and I stopped. And I noticed, because I have really bad ADHD and anxiety and stuff, I noticed that when I was juicing, I had a lot of mental clarity. I felt better. My bones didn't ache. I had more energy. I felt much better. And I was like, okay, we're going to do this. And I was ready in the morning, and I was keeping up with the housework.
It's juicing just literally like just the like you're juicing like
She
some
put
fruit.
some weird
No,
nuts and
she's
Because I do
so negative about it.
I want like green smoothies.
You don't
but
eat green food, right? Isn't that?
She doesn't eat fruits or vegetables.
She likes wine. And
I think organic food is stupid. That's what I think.
Well, she was lucky to have the family genes that she just can lose the weight.
I have a really close friend who is a farmer, large farms, and he had talked to me one time and told me this is a joke. He said his organic stuff's grown right next to the stuff that's not.
Then he can't be certified organic. Because certified organic, they can't be within like 100 miles.
But we would think. But coming from the farmer, I'm going to believe what he tells me because he's doing it and I'm not.
Yeah.
And so he's like, don't buy that kind of stuff. So for me, I think it's stupid, and I don't. And I don't like to exercise, and I don't like to eat stuff that I don't think tastes good. And I don't know, if I didn't have the genes I have, I guess I'd be a cow because I'm just not into watching what I eat. And then don't you think if you eat like one of
all
those
the moms watching are like,
those
like,
Can you just go sit over there where I don't have to try butt?
that's not what I mean.
You go to the corner and think about what
like
you've
I don't
done.
have to try. I mean, after I had my 4th child, I was really depressed.
I gained
and
5
did-
pounds, and
No, I was
it was
bigger
so
than that. I wouldn't even
awful.
put our family pictures on the wall. I was
I had tried out a Coke today.
I still had a Coke. That was the only time that I think I really had a little bit of a.
well, I
weight
watched
problem.
Food Matters, and it's on Netflix, and it's an awesome documentary. And if you have time to watch it, you have Netflix, I really recommend watching it. It tells you about what you're eating and what you're, taking it into your body and how toxic food is. And really, like, even if you're not trying to lose weight, which I'm gonna juice, my husband and I are gonna decide we're both gonna do a toxic cleanse, and then we're gonna juice again. So I'm gonna actually try it full blown with him. And
Stab someone with it, please.
I would be
And,
so hungry. I would just commit
like
homicide.
just noticing how it affected me, like just everything, mentally and everything, tells me, okay, what I'm eating is not good. And I want my girls to eat better.
So we're
Because
not
I
gonna
know
get together anymore?
I'll just pack something and let you eat your hot dog.
She'll drink her her juice.
I've done it in front of her. She's like, that's disgusting. But anyway, it's not.
I eat healthy. I enjoy
three-year-old
healthy food just as much as I enjoy junk food.
My 3-year-old will drink the smoothies, and there's
Oh, yeah, my daughter loves drink smoothies.
She'll bring me the spinach. Here, Mom, here's the spinach for the smoothie. Don't forget it, it's good. Like, I'm proud of that because I know, like, I'm trying to keep stuff healthy for her. Because, I mean, when you watch stuff, okay, hot dogs, that's the #1 leading cause for leukemia. Like, I don't want, I cannot live with that. If my daughter ended up, like, how can you, like, I just,
Everybody
we're
dies.
eating too much of it.
Cancer is caused by everything.
Really,
You have to
yeah.
try something.
But you
But
gotta think,
when you-
our bodies were never, if you go back to whenever,
Pioneer women
Yeah.
whatever your religious beliefs,
Yeah.
beginning of the world, our bodies were not designed to process these foods
No.
that we're eating now. And so your body is rejecting a lot of I mean, it's just,
It's
not
storing the
good.
toxins, yeah.
And it's doing nasty stuff to your insides. I mean, it is. It's, our bodies are not meant for this type of food. And when you actually start eating the foods that our bodies was meant to, what you were meant to eat, you start feeling good. You don't feel the sluggish, the having a hard time getting up in the morning. Your skin starts, changing.
Glowing, yeah.
You just, your whole body just starts feeling good. And that's when after I started eating things, that's when I noticed the big difference, like what you were saying. Your mind.
Even the food smells disgusting to you when you lose all the weight. You're not eating it anymore. It smells nasty. Yeah.
Well, the last thing I have to say is I'd rather be fat with my babies than be skinny without them. So I will take the weight. But I do want to be healthy.
Yeah, I think we all do. We're out of time, and I want to thank y'all for joining us for Mom Talk. We'll see y'all next week.